Hey, it's me, MLB. Here's the top delinquent, chapter 64, and this one is titled Iida to the Rescue Again. You watched the untamed anger contort his face, and all of a sudden you heard yourself laughing, a horrible, grotesque laugh that was allowing all of that hurt and pain that this man had caused you to come to the surface. It felt good to be able to turn around and walk away while holding your middle finger high, still able to hear your father cussing you out from behind the glass, but he couldn't do a damn thing this time. You held the power. You were untouchable. With the biggest grin on your face, you marched back to the front desk and collected your items. Visit went well? The guard asked upon seeing the look on your face. Most shittiest visit I've ever had, and it will definitely be the last, you replied, still with the giant grin on your face. The guard gave you a wary glance and nodded before stepping away to press the exit buzzer. You left on your own, still letting out manic cackles every now and again as the adrenaline overflowed. It was only as you left the jail and started back towards the bus stop that you looked up and saw Iida running towards you. You froze when you saw him, and it appeared that he had seen you at the same time. Yin! He shouted from the distance. A crazed laugh escaped your throat, followed by the most ugly crying you'd ever experienced, and you collapsed onto the sidewalk, shaking profusely. Iida ran to you and immediately scooped you up in his arms, holding you secure and tight as he backed back against the wall nearby to hold you until you'd calmed down. You were a babbling mess, sobbing and asking for forgiveness from him, none of your sentences making any sense. It's okay, he repeated slowly. Deep breaths, Yin. You tried to take a deep breath, but you only hyperventilated more, suffering a panic attack at seeing your father again, but also being scared absolutely lifeless by the fact that you had the balls to give him the middle finger and walk away from it alive. That was a massive move for you, and you knew it. Your mind was proud of you, but your body wasn't coping with the stress. You continued to shake in Iida's arms, occasionally whispering a thank you to him, and he just nodded and held you close, reminding you that he was there for you and nothing was going to happen to you. Finally, slowly, you calmed down, hiccoughing breaths being the only sign of your breakdown now. Once you'd stopped shaking, Iida put you down and rang for his concierge to come pick you both up. Are you hurt at all, Yin? He asked you. You shook your head sadly. No, I'm not hurt, and I'm sorry I went. What happened, if you don't mind me asking? He said gently. You hung your head. I thought... You bit down hard on the inside of your cheek to stop from crying, from humiliation. I thought he had changed, but he hadn't. Iida nodded and reached for your hand. There was a silence, and you hesitated to look at him. Are you going to say I told you so? You asked softly. No. Of course not, he replied. That would be inappropriate. You smiled sadly down at your shoes, still holding his hand as the car pulled up to pick you both up. The ride home was silent, but weirdly comfortable as you held Iida's hand. You couldn't bring yourself to pull your hand away at that point, you just needed the comfort. Back inside your apartment, Iida waited for you to change into comfortable clothes, and then he bundled you up in blankets and cuddled with you on the bed, just happy that you were safe, and that your dad hadn't done anything to you. It was while you were bundled up on the bed that you felt comfortable enough to tell Iida about what happened, telling him that you felt like something was wrong the minute that you and your father had started speaking in the common room. I should have listened to you, you repeated sadly to him. But no, had to go and romanticize it. I just saw how well things were going with Mum and Auntie Jane and hoped that things could be good between him and I. I guess I'd forgotten about the pain. There is absolutely no reason for you to feel the need to apologize. Sometimes you just need to see for yourself. He adjusted how he was lying on the bed so that he could kiss your forehead and that was poking out from underneath the blankets. I'm just glad that you are okay. It was all about the money. How did he even know about that? You asked Iida. I am not sure, Yin, but from what I do know, jail inmates have an intricate system of knowledge and trade. He must have paid someone for the information. Do you think he'll send someone to come after me? You asked fearfully. I am not sure, but I do think it is a good idea to get a new phone number, so that he cannot track you. Iida said, I can get a new phone for you tomorrow, or we can go after school together. Yeah, that sounds good, he said with a smile. I will block the number in your phone now, so that he cannot harass you. Then tomorrow, you will not have to worry about it, he promised, getting off the bed and reaching for your phone, then opening it and blocking the unknown number that had messaged you before. Iida never told you that there had been 4 more harrowing text messages and a missed call from that same number, and he quickly took screenshots of the messages and sent them to his phone as evidence, before blocking and deleting the content so that you wouldn't be triggered when you picked your phone up next. On a more happier note, Iida said, putting the phone back down and crawling up on the bed beside you, I have a scan on my arm scheduled tomorrow, and should the x-rays prove my arm healed, I will be able to remove the cast by this Friday. Really? He said excitedly. That's awesome. So we'll be able to go to the night markets when you have no cast at all? That's great. Iida nodded happily. Although I will have no fluorescent arm to direct students at school, he said sadly. You let out a little chuckle of amusement. Listen, I'm sure you'll be fine. You are just as good as directing people before you had it than after you had it. You are right, Yin, he said with a small smile. I shall resume my previous methods of directing then. You chuckled again and snuggled down into your blankets, content in his presence and happy that you had him there. And there ends chapter 64. Stay tuned for chapter 65 coming tomorrow.